Welcome back to Booze, Bros, and Cars, your favorite podcast about booze and cars. And we're your hosts. I'm Eric.
Mike.
And I'm Nick.
All right. So, of course, first up, we're going to be talking about what we're going to be drinking here today. So, I've got one pour of actually a buddy of mine from work brought me like a little 2-ounce bottle of it, but it's Eagle Rare.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I'm gonna enjoy some of that, and then I also made. I might have to remake this because I think I made it incorrectly, but we'll see how this one came out. But this is it's called the Butler Paltrow. So I was watching Hot Ones with Gwyneth Paltrow, which is the last episode, and
Nice.
she talked about she made that, but they used lemons, and I just spaced out, and I just grabbed limes, and I made it with limes instead. So we'll see how this one turns out.
How dare you?
I know. I'm probably gonna have to remake this, but we'll see how it is. I mean, like I took a sip of it.
Ruined it. It's ruined.
I mean, it's only 3 ingredients. It's obviously lemons, not limes, lemons, maple syrup, and bourbon or just Tennessee whiskey. So I used
What you're saying
Woodford.
is, when life gives you lemons, you make a weird cocktail. I like it. I'm here for it.
Isn't that like a hold on?
That's a
I'm
good
pretty
one.
sure those are like the same ingredients for like a body cleanse, except for whiskey, you do like red pepper or something. Don't you do like some spicy? Have you guys ever heard of that before though? Like
I
those
don't know, but I
cleanses
like
where you
it.
just
It is a cleanse. I like Eric's recipe way better for a cleanse.
I think it's literally like lemon juice. It might be like like apple cider vinegar or something,
Probably.
and like I don't know, like
So
honey. It's either honey or maple syrup.
I'm
Anyway.
gonna stick with the bourbon. Anyways,
Obviously, I don't do many cleanses, so whatever, it doesn't matter. It's fine.
Anywho, Mike, what do you got lined up here for tonight?
So keeping it simple, sticking with beer. Already had a few beers as the evening has progressed tonight, so just gonna kind of stick with the theme. Drinking some Corona to start, classic. You know,
Leftover Sebring beer, I see.
leftover Savor beer. Yep, had a few in the fridge.
Nice.
So my wife has like gotten really into Corona Premier.
Okay.
She drinks it all the time. It's really light. It's just, you know what? It's like the Michelob Ultra of the Corona world. So
Yeah.
she really likes it. So we usually have some Corona, but yeah, this is leftover from Sebring. I'm still drinking through some of the Sebring beers. The second one that I have tonight is, and I can't remember if I did this on the podcast. I don't think I did, but I know I drank one, is Dessert Station. This is Fruit Bowl number 2, which is...
we did one of those
Somebody-
fruit bowls.
Yeah,
Somebody did
had
one already. So it's the gluten-free dessert beer conditioned on granola, raspberry, strawberry, cinnamon, and toasted coconut. From our friends at Corporate Ladder, which we've done a lot of different beers from them. But
Oh yeah.
this one's been sitting in my
lot.
fridge for a little bit, so I figure why not crack that thing open
Why
tonight.
not?
But yeah, that's what I got. Nick, what are you
All right.
drinking?
Well, I also chose to go simple and just poured a big ass glass of Woodford.
It's a big ass glass of Woodford.
I've hit some frustrations this evening with the vehicle, so I'm just gonna forget it exists for the night.
So how about
But,
this? While you're drinking your memories away, let's talk about those issues that you're having with said
What is that,
vehicle.
like a third of a bottle?
No, because I poured out of a handle.
Oh, Jesus Christ. This guy.
Yeah. So
So if you guys wonder why our podcast run for such a long time, an hour plus, this is the reason why. It's because we just fucking drink and just talk shit.
talk about
Anyways.
shit. But anyway,
Go ahead.
the short and sweet of it is that the Nissan was doing phenomenal for like 3 weeks. Started to develop an intermittent misfire, which then turned into a full-blown misfire. So me and all my wisdom said, hey, let's change the spark plugs to like an upgraded recommended spark plugs. I got these NGK iridiums, laser iridiums, or whatever. And I pull the old spark plugs. Lo and behold, they're already the NGKs that I just bought. So I swapped them anyway. At this point now, the misfire had become constant. So I went back to the drawing board, and after I put everything back together, and a buddy of ours, Danny, came over to poke at a couple things with me, and we found a particular cylinder to just basically dead. So based on where it was. You have to pull shit apart from the intercooler piping again, or one of the charge pipes, to get to it, to fully remove it and check for spark. So I did that this evening. I did buy a new coil, ignition coil, just to have one on hand. Thankfully, I did not open it because I just tested all of them while I was at it. All coil spark. So that's leading me now to thinking that it is a fueling issue, because I don't know what else it could be at this point. So now I'm since I'm not ready for upgraded turbo and tune and bigger injectors and fuel pump and all that shit, I'm probably just going to yank all my injectors and send them off to be bench tested, cleaned, and flow tested, and just get them back in there. Hopefully, sometime the next week or two. We'll see if I can find somebody local or not.
Nice.
So
it's
I
still not
would have thought
there's no holes in the block or anything crazy like that. Just dealing with some stupid issues. I did download the Nissan data scan software to use with the core that came with it for the OBD1 reader. Scanned it. Everything is purely codes for pretty much ignition and and misfire. So now it's just tracking back the source of it.
So with 97, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that, I noticed the other day when we were looking at it at the Cars and Coffee event that we went to the other day, that it's got individual coil packs. Has it been converted to have individual coil packs, or was that run off of a distributor at some point?
This one was converted after the fact, which they all would have been if you see one with coil on plugs.
Right.
So it's a pretty common thing. This one's running some Volkswagen Auto Group red tops on it, which are just super common. So everything was. I mean, Eric drove it all the way from Atlanta, outside of Atlanta even. I've driven it pretty much solid for 3 weeks, and it just started developing this funky issue. Well, no lights, everything else works fine. So
you know what? It actually
27-year-old car problems.
I was going to say that's honestly that's probably what it is. It's that it sat for so long, and now you're using it so much that the car is basically like, oh my god, what's happening? So it's same thing happens with my Miata. Like it sat dormant for months and months, and then you drive it. It's like, where'd that noise come from?
So I reached out to this guy that used to have a shop in Cape Coral called Poor People Racing. Nice. Phenomenal name. But he was known for working on a lot of like JDM import stuff, specifically some of this platform. Well, Hurricane Ian took out his shop and he never rebuilt, so he's working for somebody else now. But he got back to me yesterday and was just chit chatting a while. And he was like, "Yeah, some of these little things happen here and there," and like he was pretty informative, but. Telling me like where to find the ECU, and I can do a quick, pull power from the battery, unplug the ECU, do a complete force reset on everything, and go from there. But now that we've gotten down to it, seems to be a mechanical, so to speak, failure someplace in the fuel system that I'm not going to go through all that trouble. But yeah, thankfully he was kind of chatting me up about some of this stuff, so got a couple good resources now. It's just the one thing he explained basically too was. Most of these cars were bought by grandma or grandpa in Japan as their like last hurrah car, right? Their last luxury car before they kicked it. So they drove it like a little old person, and then they get to the U.S. and then we just start actually ripping on them and driving them at our speeds, like normal highways and stuff. And he says some shit just happens. They just get a little funky. You basically got to smack them around, reset the electronics, and go back to it, let it relearn. But
it makes me wonder, like for instance. Like if that thing's really never been taken over 3,000 RPMs or something, like there's probably a lot of carbon buildup on the runners and everything. So I mean that might be. It's not going to cause a misfire, but you got to look at that. So you said you were going to send your injectors off to like have them bench tested. Why not just buy new injectors? I haven't looked at injectors in a long time.
So. Two reasons.
Why not just get new ones?
The first one is they're hard to find, but I can find them. There was a couple sites from Japan that I can find OEM injectors and bring them over. Unfortunately, the injectors are one part that did not cross over to any US models. So it's not just an So this particular one's not just an easy situation. I could upgrade them, but then I have to go through the, other fueling upgrades. At that point, I would just do the new turbo.
Fuel hanger,
I would need
pump,
to do a standalone,
do everything,
and go through. And I'm just, would I love to do that someday? Push a little more boost, absolutely. But I'm not ready to go into the whole ECU, get a whole standalone computer, and figuring all that out. I'm just not there right now. So
something that you probably didn't think about, and it just hit me right now, as you were saying that you were having that fueling issue.
Mm-hmm.
So my buddy Edwin that has a 180 SX and a Zafiro, he cleaned his gas tank on both cars.
That's probably a thing that's due for this thing as well.
Yeah,
probably needs to be drained and flushed and.
Yeah, the car pretty much sat for like 2 or 3 days because he put, don't quote me on this, I gotta ask him, I think it's like white vinegar or something. Like he literally just dumped like gallons of it, like filled it up to the brim.
Yeah.
With vinegar so that it can clean, like grab all like the shit that's inside the tank, and then he emptied all that shit out. And then he used this other type of solution. Like he's done it on like 3 or 4 like right hand drive cars because he just needs to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I thought about some of that too, but like, I mean, this car's been in the country for 2 years now, maybe 2.5-ish. And based on what I saw when I found the original posting from when it first got imported, I'm pretty sure the dude that I bought it from drove the thing. So it's not like I'm the first one suddenly driving it or anything like that. Like it's been driven. Like I want to say he put like almost 10,000 miles a year on it. I think he dailied it for a couple of years. Yeah. So I could just be finally where it's catching up and all that slag or whatever is just getting sucked up and, you know, making it farther into the system or something. It could just be that kind of luck. You know, maybe he was running 87 through it. Now I'm putting all this 93 and it's breaking some stuff loose in the tank. And I mean, who knows? Anything's possible. So yeah, it probably just needs a fuel system cleaning in general to get it kind of back up and going regularly. Which is annoying because I've officially ordered the all the material for the wrap. Fix my 2 paint issues, and now it's going to be down on my driveway probably for a couple weeks while I get everything sorted out. So sweet,
nice, that's fun.
Yeah, delaying the inevitable some more.
Yeah,
but hey, my Explorer's back, so there's that.
Is it still taking a shit on you or no? I said, is it still taking a shit on you or no?
I mean, it drove fine today. They did a bunch of software updates. Had me remove my tune before they plugged it into the Ford system. But
that was nice of them to just be like, "Can you pull this over here real quick?"
That's what they were. That's what my advisor was like. So, do you have to like take this to somebody? I'm like, nah, I got it. First, my phone. It's like, oh, that's badass. So I did that today. They did a PCM software update. They did a transmission update. Some kind of module update on my gear shifter, which was throwing a bunch of codes. But he plugged in and he's like, dude, just codes come out of everywhere. Like just codes. And he's like, I don't think your tune could have done this. So I was like, just do me a favor, document everything. So when I go to throw in my lemon law thing back at the manufacturer, they're not surprised. Like, hey, things left me stranded a few times. You need to do something about it and just take it off my hands. So we'll see how that goes. That'll probably be the next step, but
doesn't bode well.
Of all the issues people mentioned about the STs, nobody's talked about this. So I think there's just some kind of electrical gremlin someplace. Because they can't replicate any of my issues, but all the codes exist to say that it's having these issues. They just can't replicate it. So
interesting.
Yeah, so I drove it tuneless this evening, and I mean, it was kind of boring. It's like 150 horsepower less all of a sudden.
Yeah, that'll
literally Mike's entire Miata horsepower has been deleted from my car right now.
Oh, you removed the tune?
Yeah, for all the work I did today. Yeah, so we're gonna run it for about a week or so without the tune and see if it pops any crazy codes or anything. But the tech was straight up was like, I don't think your tune could have had any effect on any of these codes or anything. So, all right, that's good to know.
Interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. Anywho, so well, I'm glad the Explorer's back.
Yeah, me too.
Back to its obnoxious loud self. For the first,
I'm gonna drive it nicely for a little bit.
Yeah, it's still a lot of shit though.
Are you though?
I mean, I drove it nicely tonight. That's probably about the extent.
I was gonna say, really, you don't have a choice because now it's like a regular ST. It's not a.
Yeah,
it's just a loud ST right now.
Yeah,
it breathes better. It's got still downpipes and the intercooler.
Yeah. Yeah. Anywho, so. Let's go ahead and do a quick F1 recap. Look at you, man.
Pretty.
That looks delicious.
Oh my god.
A fruit bowl.
It smells like a fruit bowl. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do a quick.
Imagine that.
Yeah, for sure. Imagine that. Corporate Ladder does some wonderful things, man. Just saying. Corporate Ladder, if anybody from Corporate Ladder is listening or watching this, make sure you email us in the email below and sponsor us. Just saying.
Yeah, sponsor us with beer, and we will say nothing but good things. Like we've literally done, I don't know,
oh my god,
a dozen times
since last July. I think was our first podcast last year, July,
something like that.
Yeah, we've literally just done have reviewed nothing but just great things about them. So yes, please sponsor us and email us below. Anyways, let's do a quick F1 recap. Which, dude, you guys have to get into fucking Formula One. If this weekend, this weekend does not show you that you have to get into fucking Formula One, you guys need to get into Formula One. Like,
dude, I don't even watch IMSA unless I'm at the racetrack. So you're good luck getting me to watch anything else.
It's so exciting.
I am not into Formula One, but there is one driver right now that is just hilarious.
Yeah.
It's the guy that I've shared with you guys on Instagram the other day. What is his name? I gotta look this up.
You don't even know his name. His name is Valtteri Bottas.
Valtteri Bottas, yeah. Dude, he is so funny. Like he's
hilarious.
I've seen like 5 different Instagram things with him, and like that last one was that what is it? The Aussie,
whatever that Australian Uber. It's whatever. It's Commodore.
It's
a Commodore.
It's a Holden.
Yeah.
And it's my god, it's so funny. It's so the guy's fucking hilarious.
He's hilarious, and he's a phenomenal driver. Like right now, he's not for the last 2 or 3 years. He hasn't been doing too great, mostly because he's in what is now the Sauber Stake Alfa Romeo team, whatever the fuck that team's name is. It's like a weird ass name. Anyways, he is actually in that team, and their cars are not that great. They're more like a lower level tier team. But yeah, the dude's a great driver. When he was in Mercedes, he was like right behind Hamilton, pretty much nearly all
that's awesome.
all the time. Yeah,
driver for Stake F1, Stake, Stake F1.
Yeah, Stake F1, F1 or Alfa Romeo Stake, whatever the fucking Alfa Romeo team. That's which actually
races cars, zoom.
Which actually that team is going to be Audi in a couple of years.
He also has like a super glorious mullet, and he's got bleach blonde hair. Like it's just hilarious, man. The whole guy.
I mean, it is a solid mullet, but I have a hard time calling any mullet good. I don't know. That's one fact that needs to die.
All right, hold on.
I disagree with you there, man.
I disagree with you.
I will absolutely fight you on this because I think the older I get, the more I can appreciate a mullet. You know, you got party in the front. It's business casual. And then, I'm sorry, business in the front,
casual,
party in the back.
Party in the back, yeah.
So I wish I could pull it off. I
just have to say one name, and you'll be like, all right, fine. Cletus McFarland.
Good.
Doesn't mean I agree that it's a good haircut.
Just saying, though.
The worst is when people make their goofy ass looking little kids have them when they have no decision.
Oh, dude, I want Brody to have a mullet so bad.
Please don't do that. I'm going to create a new campaign where I just go around punching little kids with mullets in the face because they look stupid.
What if I talk to your wife and
so don't do that?
What if I talk to
battery? Don't do that.
What if I talk to your wife and ask her just to give Edmund just one mullet haircut?
You clearly do not know my
dude.
wife.
It wouldn't take much. Just let his hair get a little long, and then just buzz the sides, and he's there. That's great.
Yeah. You clearly don't know my wife well enough. That would not fly with her. Because
for the sake of pissing you off, she'd probably be down to do that.
Now we're going down a rabbit hole about mullets. I feel like Japanese people like mullets, and you guys are basically Japanese.
They also rock some crazy rockabilly Elvis haircuts still to this day because that's a fad over there. So
that's true.
When it comes to general Japanese subcultures and styles, you really can't use them as any indication of anything else but Japan.
That's fair.
Yeah,
they're a little wild.
Yeah,
a smidge. But yeah, no, I can't get down with the mullet. I just can't do it.
I mean, because you don't have any American. Well, you don't have like a muscle car. Like, I feel like if you had a muscle car, it would be a different conversation. Like, Eric, you should absolutely grow a mullet. It would be perfect with a Corvette.
No, I can't.
Come on,
My
bro.
hair grows puffy. That's why I keep it low. You
Yeah, I don't know
want to
that
see
I've
me
ever
with long
seen
hair.
your hair like
You
more
never
than
want
like.
to see me with long hair. It's like a fro.
Bro,
It's
I
like
grow
So
it
I was
after.
gonna say,
fucking
have you
puffy
seen
afro.
Mike's curly
Yeah,
ass hair?
mine gets way curly.
Every time I see a picture of you from like the early 20s,
Oh yeah.
I just like have to laugh. It was
Yeah,
glorious,
man,
glorious head of hair, but
it was pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie though, like I understand why women complain about taking care of their hair because my God, that thing required so much work. It was terrible.
that was when my beard was like down to my chest. That I
Yeah.
understood everything at that point.
Oh yeah, man.
The
That's a
upkeep
lot
on
of
that son
work.
of a bitch. Yeah.
Conditioner and primping and all that nonsense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, race cars good. Mullets, no.
Team mullet.
Anyways, Formula One. Back to Formula One. So quick recap.
Mhm.
So really fucking crazy. So Max Verstappen started off in pole. Carlos Sainz started in the front row. Crazy shit about Carlos Sainz. I was hyped up to see this race because of Carlos Sainz, but this dude had before the race, he had a appendix septomy. Is that the right word for it?
Appendectomy.
Appendectomy. Like 14 days prior. Like it's crazy. Like before like actual testing for the track, like at Jeddah. No, it wasn't Jeddah. No, he missed Jeddah. It was the Australian GP last weekend, and it was like 10 days at like post appendectomy. Dude, this fucking guy ended up in the front row. So in the front row, it's first and second. So obviously Max Verstappen got pole, which is first place. He got second. Dude, 2 laps in into the GP, and he passed Max Verstappen. So he was on pole for like pretty much 99% of the race.
Damn.
After that, lap 4 or 5, Max Verstappen had a catastrophic car failure, and it made him DNF or did not finish. Which is crazy because Max has been he's won out of 24, 25 races last year. He won like 22 of them. The other 3, Checo or Sergio Perez won 2 of them. Carlos Sainz actually won 1 of them, which is, oh my God, I can't remember what GP, but it started with an S. Anyways, so Carlos Sainz has been the only driver that has actually beaten Max Verstappen in a Grand Prix weekend, which is crazy especially because like, he just had like an appendectomy. He drove amazing.
Weight savings.
Yeah, exactly. Weight savings. The dude drove like a fucking monster. The dude's awesome. He's such a great driver. Him and Fernando Alonso and Sergio Perez, funny enough, they're all either Hispanic or Spaniard. Probably my favorite drivers because their personalities are just fucking out there and they're just funny as shit. But Carlos Sainz, awesome driver. He's pretty much his own strategist, and he dominated that freaking weekend. And then, of course, just normal being him, George Russell crashed out right at the end of the race, like he always fucking does, because he's a fucking dumbass. Honestly, in my opinion, he's an okay driver, does not deserve to be a Mercedes. But because of all that rumors after the Grand Prix, apparently, so next year for 2025, Lewis Hamilton is going to Ferrari. Charles Leclerc has a contract with Ferrari, so that means Carlos Sainz has no seat for next year. And now Red Bull is like, he might be a good contender to be our driver because there's rumors that Max might be going to Mercedes. It's this whole crazy shit, man. Like this whole silly season is what it's being called. Yeah, it's super dramatic, but honestly, after this past weekend's performance, and I'm sure this weekend's performance, which Nick, you actually might be interested in seeing because it is going to be in Japan, at Suzuka, everybody's going to be keeping eye at Carlos Sainz because I'm pretty sure there's going to be some moving around next year for drivers, and they're going to want to sign Carlos because he is world championship driver material, 100%. I mean, like if Ferrari's strategy is shit and he can pretty much lead his own strategy and lead his own race, carry his teammate, carry a opponent to help him win a GP, which was last year. I mean, the dude's stupid good. He's probably by far one of the best drivers out on the playing field, but he's just in the wrong team, unfortunately. But yeah, anyways, that's quick recap. Carlos
Sounds
Sainz.
like Real Housewives of Formula One.
Yeah. Just watch Drive to Survive, and it'll
Crazy.
pretty much recap you like every single season. Actually, you should watch Drive to Survive because it pretty much like you watch it after the season's done. You can literally just watch it, and then it recaps you of what happened throughout the whole season, which next year is going to be fucking crazy. So, anyways,
wild.
Yeah, that's my quick recap. I know you guys don't watch it. Yeah, actually, more than just Vroom. Those fucking cars are awesome.
Vroom, bang, crash.
Yeah, more like what Mike did, wherever he is, either on either side.
Ooh. Like the scarecrow from Wizard of Oz over here.
No, it's more like that scene from what is that movie with Adam Sandler where he Mr. Deeds, the dude like at the end he's like he's cross-eyed.
Yeah,
he's like, whoa, this thing's fast, and he
yeah.
Funny enough, he's driving a Corvette. Anyways, so after that quick Formula One recap and Nick's rant about the Cedric, so I want your guys' opinion on something. So a little backstory of how I actually kind of came up with this. Nick, you sent us a picture about a C5 Corvette that you came across in Cape Coral.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to share the picture because the dude's plate is on there, but it was a really cool car, in my opinion. The body kit is badass. It ended up being a red Tiger Shark body kit Z06 that's in Cape Coral. And I posted it to I'm not going to say local, it's more like a Corvette drift community Facebook page, and this dude replied back and he's like, hey, that's in Cape Coral and it's this type of body kit. So I was like, okay, cool. So I was messaging him back and forth, and now we're friends on Facebook and stuff. We're gonna link up at one of the car meets. He mostly goes to like the millennial ones. Anyways, long story short,
and Eric was never seen or heard from again.
No, I'll share my GPS location with you guys. no, he's a cool dude. He actually has a C5 Corvette. Mike, you need to step it up, bro.
So when multiple Corvette owners get together, do they just touch tips?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, they compare New Balances. Yeah,
they show off their new grass shears,
the jorts.
Yes, and the jorts.
Yeah, show off your jorts and your New Balances.
I'm disappointed, Eric, that you do not have that outfit.
Bro, I'm telling you. That's what I said the other day too. I was like, man, you need a set of white New Balances and some jean shorts.
Maybe for Halloween, I'll be like your typical Corvette owner for Halloween.
You need to wear one of your Corvette shirts or Chevrolet Racing to like every car meet. It would be hilarious.
Nah, Halloween.
Hilarious.
Halloween.
Make it happen.
Anyways, so when him and I were messaging each other back and forth, he said something really interesting, and it kind of made it such a true topic to kind of talk about, which was that if you have a car, right? Like obviously we all had Mazda Speeds. When we sold them, a lot of people in that community, they kind of like shunned us, and we didn't hear from them after a while or for a long time because we changed cars. Obviously we stayed friends for good reasons, but I feel like it's kind of like a weird trend that like when you have a car from a specific manufacturer, obviously let's just throw the Mazda Speeds out there, you have like your friend group, but then when you sell the car, like half of the people or 3/4 of the people, they just kind of ghost you and they stop following you. And also if they have like Instagram pages revolving around the specific car, you again using the Speed 3 as an example, they just stop posting and stop using that page. I find it weird. Like, do you guys see that as a trend? And like, so pretty much like where I want your guys' opinion on is, are those guys real car people or no? Because like, I feel like they're not, because like if you get a friend or if you become friends with somebody that, through like, hey, we have Mazda Speed, like we're going to become friends and shit. And we start to hang out. If I sell my car, why are you going to stop hanging out with me? You know, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
I think it's more like a cliquish kind of thing. Like it's kind of to your point. Like, are they really truly car enthusiast people, or they just happen to buy something that some people thought was cool? They found a group to hang out with, and
Yeah.
yeah.
that was that. Like, I don't know.
See, I'm going to come from the other end of that spectrum and say, are they really your friend then? Or are they only friends with you because they drive the same car as you? And then when you upgrade or you move out of that clique, you don't have that manufacturer, you don't have that model anymore, whatever. Are they still your friend? If they're not your friend, then not really a true friend. You know
Were
what I
they
mean?
ever your friend?
Were they ever your friend?
Mm.
That's actually a
Or
really
Indeed.
good point.
did they just
Indeed.
talk to you because you had the same car? Like we all became friends. We started hanging out, and now that you mention that, it's really starting to make me think like
Right?
which one of us got rid of our Speed 3 first? Our buddy Carmelo definitely.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was
Carmelo
definitely
did.
Carmelo the first
Yeah.
one.
Who out of us three though? Who was it?
I was
Eric,
the
I
last
think you were
one.
the last one.
I was
I
the
think
last
Nick.
one.
I think you and I think Chelsea got rid of.
Yeah, we
Oh.
traded hers on the Santa Fe back in 2017 after Everly was born.
What year
Did
did
I
you
have
trade?
I had my Infinity by then, though. I think.
So, Mike, you may
I think
have
it
been
was me.
first.
I think it might have been me
Yeah,
when
we
I
go loser.
traded for the M56.
Why do we still talk to you?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Son, how do you kick him off this? How do I kick him off this podcast?
We're not
Listen,
friends
I
anymore.
mean, he was the first one. Well, okay, he wasn't the first one, but from when I knew him, he was the first one in this group to
Yeah.
own a Nissan product.
Yeah.
You know,
Eric also had a Nissan, and I had a
prior
Nissan
to me
way
knowing
back.
him, though.
Yeah,
I
it's
had a
true.
Nissan back
Yeah.
in the early 2000s. Thank you
You
very
probably,
much.
You probably had a Nissan first than me because I got mine 2000.
I definitely did.
2008. I think I got my Nissan.
My Nissan Maxima was my third car. I think it was a 95.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a 95. It was my third car.
Actually, it's
So-
ironic because the Maxima was my third car too, but mine was an 08 though.
Yeah, yours was way newer than
And
mine.
now with Carmelo's Frontier and my Cedric, we've all had Nissans.
Fucking nerds.
As weird as that is.
Not to knock Nissan, I still want a GTR and a Skyline and a Stagia
Oh,
and a
yeah.
Zafiro. I want a lot of things.
I wouldn't mind S15 either.
Oh man,
Yeah.
all right. So I've got to ask. Like, I've always liked S15s, but I would have two because I want a Spec R, just clean body stock Spec R, but I would also want to have like this crazy fucking built like Urus or Vertex, one of those crazy body kits built freaking car, wide body, just nice, clean freaking just car. I don't know. I kind of want like a nice, clean OEM spec, and then I kind of want like a crazy build too. That's what I would have.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I kind of want to throw you guys completely off and get a BMW. So I've really gone down a rabbit hole.
I mean, I don't know if you know this or not, but I've been there, and it is the
Yeah,
one
but a
car I've complained
long
about
time
more
ago.
than any.
So,
That was
as
a
I've
long
owned.
time ago, though.
all right,
It's
hold
true.
on.
Yeah, I know they have more electronics in them now.
It was, but here's a funny thing. First off, you're not gonna throw us like throw us a wrench or anything like that because I want a BMW, but I want an E36 or an E46 because I want one
Yeah,
just to royally fucking destroy
Wreck it. Yeah.
drifting like beer can.
So, like, I am looking
But-
for, obviously, another vehicle that I can drive semi-regularly for work if, a couple days a week or whatever. But, like, rear-wheel drive, manual, 350 plus horsepower, backseat, those four things. And I'm like, why am I
V-Wagon.
not? Why am I not? No, that's way out of my price range. And you can't find a
You
can't find a
think, you
manual.
think an M2 is going to be within?
They're 40. You can find a 2018 M2 for.
I mean, I'm
40.
not saying for the year that they're not more cost effective than a V-Wagon, but
The V Wagon is way older, less tech.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you get
more
more
cylinders, more
more
room,
cylinder, more power, more room, more choppy chop.
I mean,
more
CTSVs are not off the table completely, but
You just need to
As I-
make up your mind, dude,
as I
because
wear
like
my Cadillac racing shirt.
Right.
you are worse than me and Nick because like
see,
because here's the thing. I want fucking everything. Like when it comes to modified cars, I want them all. It's like for me, it's like it's like me being in middle school, like wanting to catch them all, like with fucking Pokemon, only with cars. Like I literally want to fucking own everything. But you want to own like specific cars, but
So
like
here-
you just don't make
I
up your
think I
mind.
mentioned this in yeah, I don't know. I'm all over the place.
It's like awkward
really am.
pause. I'm like, okay, go.
Yeah. And then there's me. Guys, I think
No,
I'm going to buy an
just
RS6
the-
as I'm actively looking, and then all of a sudden, guys, look what I bought. It's a fucking Nissan Cedric. As I'm looking for an $80,000 super wagon.
You definitely did
I mean,
that.
so there's
See, here's the thing about me though, is like
I have impulse
I am
problems.
window shopping right now. I am
Yeah,
I am
all right,
window shopping.
but here's the thing: you're looking at too many windows, and that's why you don't know what to get.
Well, I need to test drive. That's what I really need to do. Because I guarantee when I drive some of the things that I want, I'm going to be like, this sucks. I don't want this.
But have you
Right
test
now,
driven
everything
any
looks
one
good.
of those cars? Have you test driven any one of those cars?
No.
having recently
What-
driven an M2. You're going to fucking love that if you get your hands on one of those to drive.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah,
in
no,
stock
that's what worries
form.
me.
Even in stock form.
I still
Well-
want a F80 M3. Just saying.
So the M2 is inline six turbo,
Mhm.
350 horsepower, and then they have the M2 competition, which is 400 horsepower. And the thing is tiny. Like it's got a back seat, but like
Yeah.
does it?
Mhm.
Does it?
Yeah.
Like it's pretty small.
Here's the thing,
but
you're probably not going to end up liking it because here's the thing. It's probably going to be like a BRZ situation where like you have to amputate your children's legs so they can sit in the back.
I don't know.
Yeah, but
Nick,
that's
what-
kind of an
what
okay
was-
thing because it's faster than a BRZ.
Yeah,
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
and my kids are still small.
Exactly.
So,
But
and when
you're
they
gonna
get
you know.
bigger, they get their own car and get the hell out of the house. That's how it
That's
works.
true. Or when they get bigger, maybe I'll have more money and I'll just buy something with a bigger back seat. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Blackwing.
Time will tell.
Oh
Like a
man,
Blackwing.
those Blackwings were really fun to drive. I kind of I understand our how would you call that guy?
Are you two having strokes tonight? Like, what is going on
No.
with both of you?
No, I'm drawing a blank. Like, what was that? Like
So
that
when
guy
I was
that
silent a
with
minute
us?
ago, it's because the internet connection lagged, and like I couldn't tell that you guys were talking, and then all of a sudden Eric's camera like sped up and did this weird fucking thing. So I'm just gonna
Uh-huh.
sit here and wait.
I
I'm
thought
just, like,
you
waiting
just
for
had a
the-
complete brain shutdown for a second.
Oh.
You're just like staring at the camera, and I'm just like, what the hell?
That's what I
Pull the
thought
Biden.
too. For
Or
me,
no, what was-
I'm just
wasn't
having a
Biden.
fucking. I'm just having a
It-
fucking aneurysm here, trying to think of what the fuck that guy was. Whatever, like the kid that was in the fucking car with us, like in the Cadillac Experience. I understand him not wanting us to exceed a speed limit, but also at the same time, the chick that we were with the Escalade V, she's like, "Yeah, let her rip, like go for it, like full send." And I'm like,
Well,
"Cool,
because she even
No.
was like, she's like, just so you know, if you get a ticket, it's yours.
yeah."
Yeah.
So, like, okay, been there,
mean,
done that. Let's go.
And to her point, we may or may not have been at an active airstrip, and there was a ton of cops there, and but yeah, she's right. The tickets are.
I don't know. You got to be a real. You got to be a real stickler if you're gonna pull people over that you know are actively like test driving cars out there.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you're being an idiot and you cut somebody off or you're like just over the lines or I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess it's all
Well,
situational, but whatever.
Well,
Doesn't matter.
we were also close to doing criminal speeds in CTSVs or not CT5Vs.
CT5.
So
Yeah.
I get it.
What
It's
are you
only
talking
criminal
about? We
if you don't
weren't.
believe in our current government. If you don't believe in them, it's not really criminal. They're just
We were
stupid.
going 45 miles an hour, just like the speed limit said.
We were.
It's fine.
We were.
I'm pretty sure I
actually.
was going under and upsetting people behind me. So
Yeah. Yeah,
It's true.
actually, we were.
Yeah.
Probably true.
But anywho, back on topic
What is the
about
topic?
the whole.
I think we need to do a bev recap.
I would be fine with that, but I kind of want Nick's input first on that whole car manufacturer, whatever thing we were just talking about. Like, what's your input on it? Like,
Yeah, what's your thoughts?
you didn't
Are we
really
going
you
back to
really
the whole
didn't
car
give.
club thing? And
Yes, not car club. I'm gonna say like the whole
Well,
like
yeah.
you gain like a friendship or following like based off of a specific manufactured car, and then like you sell it or trade it for something else, and then people start to one stop talking to you, or two they just start unfollowing
I think
you.
to Mike's point, it's one of those. It's like if that happens, are those people really your friends, right?
Probably
Like,
not,
like if anything, they should be like, oh man, you went from a Mazda 3 to like, you know, a new Beamer or new Audi, whatever the case is. Like, oh, I'm proud of you, man. Good job. Like you stepped up. Like that should be that kind of support, you know, where in my case, it was always like, hey, Mike, I got something bigger and faster. Let's trade you out. You know, so for me, it was also, you know, work related. But
yeah.
I mean, it's just, dude, if you're a true car enthusiast, you understand that not everybody and most people aren't going to be happy with the same car for an extended period of time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're either going to add to the fleet
Some
or
might.
replace with something else that we want to tinker with. Like, it's a never ending cycle for people like us. And, you know, for someone that doesn't understand that, it's like, this is the car I'm going to keep forever and I'm going to get buried in this thing. It's like, bro, you're 22. You're probably going to hit a guardrail trying to drift your Mazda Speed 3, and that'll be it.
Thanks, Nick. Anyways, but
hey, you built yours back better.
I did. No. Fuck, God damn it. I hate that you said that. Anyways.
You made the Speed 3 great again. Is that better?
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
So-
Okay. But here's the thing. Are those type of people, are they even real car enthusiasts? Or I guess what the question should be is, are they real car enthusiasts, or are they just chasing the clout behind the car community?
So
Probably the latter.
Well, here's a note that I want to make too, and like I feel like a lot of people can appreciate this. Is it's got to be. It all depends on the manufacturer too. Like we all know, like Honda guys are different than Subaru guys, or different than Chevrolet guys, or different than Audi guys.
100%.
It's just how it is. Like certain car manufacturers, these guys just get, or gals, whatever. These people get like I don't know, a thing. They think a superiority complex, if you will, whatever the case may be. So I feel like it's manufacturer dependent. I feel like I'm on some Hyundai Facebook pages and stuff, and like usually whenever somebody like is like, "Hey man, you know, I've been doing this for 8 years. Here's my car. It's been awesome. Appreciate everything I've learned from you guys, but this is my new ride." And most people are like, "Oh man, that's awesome. It's great. Gonna miss you around." But like, you know, the Mazda forums were similar, I think.
Fucking cancerous, dude.
Well, Mazda Speed
forums, God, fucking cancer.
for sure.
Because I wouldn't lump the Miata into that. Because I feel like the Miata,
no,
if you own a
Miata's
Miata,
different.
especially if you use a Miata the way it's supposed to be used, you are a true car enthusiast. People understand that. And when you upgrade to a Vet, a BRZ, an M2, and they're like, yeah, hell yeah, man, like, let's go. You're still going to lose to the Miata. But they're like, yeah, let's go. You know what I mean? Because those Miatas are just absolutely sick on the track. But I think it is. I think it's not even by manufacturer. Sometimes it comes down to the model, or maybe the Miata is just specific because you know there is multiple enthusiast cars in that brand, but that car is the true like race enthusiast kind of person. But yeah,
sure.
I think you're right. There's an air about some of it where it's just like, what do you want to call it, for clout purposes or just overall superiority, or just, you know, I think you see that more with a lot of the German brands and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just
like some of the
hit or miss.
Japanese brands too. Because like you got a lot of people that they're like into Subarus, and they just they do the whole clout shit like with Subarus, and they try to get sponsorships from like Import Image Racing, which is actually local here to us. So shit.
I think I don't know.
Try to get recognition by like Subaru and Travis Pastrana, because Travis Pastrana is huge into Subarus, and I don't know. Like I just feel like it's just people wanting to like chase clout, which I don't know. For me myself, like, and you guys can probably agree, like we we do cars because cars are our passion.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do it because we're not chasing clout. Like obviously, like I didn't buy a Corvette because I wanted to chase clout. I got a Corvette because it's a great fucking chassis. I mean, I'm literally enjoying every fucking moment that I'm driving this thing. And even one day when I was driving to work, I literally floored it in second gear and like got to the end of like the rev limiter, and I was just fucking laughing like a little schoolboy because I had to like pull off into like my office, and I'm just laughing because it was just fun, you know. But I don't know. It's just weird how like people chase clout for nothing. Like
I think to your point, the Subaru thing though is like that's dead. This new gen is ugly as shit. It's just, like I hate to say this, but STIs and WRXs and the Subaru just they're not cool anymore. That whole thing is just I don't know. I feel like it's lost its touch, and it's not the enthusiast's fault. I don't know what the hell Subaru's done or what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I would still rock an STI because I've driven the STI. It's a great car. I prefer the STI over the WRX mostly because the 6-speed is better. The electronic drivetrain is a lot better. The suspension drives a lot better. Actually, when I got my BRZ, you and I drove in a WRX, and I'm like, yo, this shit is.
I just mean like the
super sloppy.
The brand as a whole moving forward is just the enthusiast factor is dying. It's just gonna be a dead thing. Your last fun things out there are gonna be the Miata, Corvette, Mustang. I mean, the enthusiast type sporty cars are dying.
Yeah, quickly. I mean, shit. Surprisingly, even Toyota brought out the Corolla. I mean, if you wanted to throw the GR86 in there, it's still a really fun enthusiast car.
Yeah.
Hyundai too. Yeah,
cars. One of the last ones still trying to come out with new things that are like fun and enjoyable.
Yeah, so there's not very many.
By the way, oh man, maybe we'll do that on a future podcast. But Hyundai has a performance division now, or Genesis does?
Genesis now has a. Actually, you know what?
Next podcast.
No, because it just was released yesterday. Let's go ahead and talk about it. All right. So Genesis, they are releasing their own performance brand. So similar to BMW or M to BMW, AMG to Mercedes. I guess at this point now it's going to be GR/TRD to Toyota.
Yeah. RS and the S's for
RS and Audi. S's to Audi. Nismo to Nissan. So Genesis now actually came up with their own brand for performance cars, and I guess they're actually including every single one of their models into this. But it's called, Nick, correct me if I'm wrong on this because you may have looked into it further, but I think it's called Magma.
Magma, just like lava, like
Magma.
that. Hence the obnoxiously orange color. Yeah. Here's what I love about it, because like you talk about the other economy brands performance, they don't even mention those in the articles. They're straight up like Genesis Magma, you know, basically saying it's coming for S and RS, AMG, and the M division. So, because they talked about, there were some rumors that Genesis was going to do a performance thing, and people were like, no, that's not their interest. They're going to do the N for the Hyundais on the lower end, have fun with that. And then all of a sudden, here's the announcement. Boom, Genesis Magma.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Like, I mean, obviously, we know, like the first car, the big SUV, that's the GV80 Coupe, which is absolutely gorgeous. You guys see my
screen, right?
Yeah. And then the one after that is the GV80 or GV60, which is all electric. So the only way you can get it, but those wheels, Mike, we know how Mike feels about those wheels in that thing. Dude, they are pretty awesome.
They look so good.
Yeah. After that, you have the G80 in this picture, which is their big body sedan. So something along the lines like a 5 Series or an A6, A7, or S, you know. And then you've got the other little guy, which I think is like their Vision concept, which the fact that they're using that imagery for the launch of this new performance brand tells me that thing may actually come to fruition. Actually, you know what? I think it's called the Speedium X Coupe or something like that. So, I mean, if they, between electric and fuel, like the ICE stuff, if they actually come out and start putting out 700 horsepower Genesis cars, that would be epic.
Scroll back down.
What's up?
Scroll back down, because they
video?
said,
you see the video?
No, keep going down, because they had something about that Vision thing, which is it had a name for it, I think.
I mean, just looking at these things, they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
X Grand Berlinetta concept.
Berlinetta. Wow. So they actually came up with a name for this thing yet.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's crazy.
All right, hey, this is. I have to step away for like a minute because my wife can't figure out how to turn the water off after she broke the handle on one of the faucets in the house. So give me a sec. I'll be right back.
Go do your thing, man.
Yeah, so it
Grand Berlinetta concept. Okay, it's crazy because like first it was called the Vision, I think Nick said. So it's interesting that they actually gave it a name. So that means that to Nick's point, I kind of wish he was still here, but to Nick's point, it actually
Berlinetta. Well, it does look like, if to his point, if they're gonna have that on like the poster on Genesis website for the launch of this whatever extension of the brand, that seems to make me think that they're going to put this car into production at some point, which is kind of cool. But
Nick's daughter, by the way.
I think that's cool, but at the same time, it's like, man, I don't know why they wouldn't do this for, like they're doing the G80. Why are they not doing the Genesis G70, which is the smaller sedan?
So
already comes with a 3.3 liter turbo. Like, why not do it something a little more
smaller, more compact?
Smaller, compact, more sports car-ish, instead of like the big SUV, the big sedan, like go that route. Well, I don't know.
It could be, and I could be wrong, and we can get Nick's input on this, which I'm glad that he just came back. So
I'm back, bitches. From the easiest fix in the world. You know what I did? Okay. Put the handle back on, gave it a wiggle, and turned it off. Oh, crazy.
Yeah. Funny as shit. Okay, so what Mike was just saying right now is that it's interesting how like they don't have like any other cars outside of those four. So the GV80, the GV60, the G80, and apparently that the Vision is actually named the Grand Berlinetta concept. So I was just gonna say, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, they're probably showing those four cars as the Magma premier vehicles because those might be the cars that Hyundai might be keeping.
So there's already some pretty solid rumors that the G70 sedan may not continue.
Yeah, you see, exactly my point.
The G80 is expected to hang in there as a big sedan. The G90 on that top end, the luxury thing, will probably just stay as a massive land yacht. I mean, it's already got like 400 horsepower. So, I mean, that's sufficient for what it is. They're also doing a lot of electrification, which kind of concerns me because maybe they're going to sit there and be like, hey, we're going to electrify these things because the GV60, pure electric, already is there. That little Vision concept guy, I'm not too sure.
Look at the GV60 wheels, though.
So they've shown this color off multiple times leading up to this. Yeah. So they did it on a G80 concept a while back, and the new GV60 coupe that I was sending you guys when they first announced that concept was also in that color. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be pretty wild. Well, and the nice thing is with the GV60 SUV, the electric one, all I gotta do is take that bad boy and drop it on top of the Ioniq 5N drivetrain and done.
Here's my question though, is like, why can't they take that and put in like an up-tuned version of the 3.3 turbo and get like a 450 horsepower turbo V6 in that same
and the 3.3 has already pretty much been sunsetted now. They're up to the 3.5 now, which has even more power. You could push that thing to an easy 500 horsepower.
That and that SUV right there would be badass. Absolutely badass.
Yeah.
But
got some nice wide tires all the way around, and
those wheels just look so good. They do. It's got like that old aero disc, but like mixed with like a mesh, like
that Euro kind of 10-spoke design.
Hey, there's actually a wheel that's the Formula Aero mesh, and they have the Formula Aero something. They have two. Where are they from again? I think SSR makes them. Who makes those wheels?
Didn't OZ make
The-
an arrow wheel?
No, it was 1552, I think, made.
No,
Or
it was
No,
not 15.
they have some
1552.
funky looking ones that kind of look like that, but they're like they had that kind of arrow wheat disc, but then they're like a chunky
Yeah.
spoke middle. That's probably what you're thinking of with the 1552s.
Yeah, they are SSRs. I knew it. It was SSR. They have the Formula Aero mesh wheels, and then they have the Formula Aero something wheel.
Somebody else had one too.
Rotiform.
Oh, Rotiform. That's who I was thinking of. Well, and OZ Rally also does the disc in the middle with the spokes on the outside. That I was thinking of OZ.
Sorry, I got sick from you guys calling out replicas. Anyways,
what the fuck you got against Rotiform, bro?
Yeah. Yo, what you got about friendly on the wallet, bro?
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry, I didn't buy TE37s for my Cedric, and I went with Cosmos wheels that are.
That's all right. Eric does not have a set of aftermarket wheels on anything right now, so
or as Tina was trying to convince me to do was to buy some weds.
Just saying.
I don't think she knows how shallow my pockets are.
Are they though? Are they though?
For flashy wheels that I don't need. For an upgraded turbo or something like that, no.
Yeah.
They can go kind of deep.
Yeah.
I like to go fast. I'm not worried about stopping or traction. Okay, we should know this by now.
Yeah.
You can't go fast and deep.
First off, Mike, how dare you? Second off,
very short period of time. Very short period of time, and then it's over.
How dare you?
Yeah.
Oh man, this is why we're friends. This is why we're friends. Anyways, let's go ahead and do a beverage recap. I'll go ahead and start off. The Eagle Rare was super fucking smooth. I'm gonna give a shout out to my buddy Ben from work. That was awesome. It was really, really freaking good. A lot smoother than I was expecting because I expected Eagle Rare to have a little bit more of a smokier punch, but no, it was super smooth. I actually really enjoyed it. I might end up scooping up a bottle of that. The whatever Butler Paltrow, whatever the fuck that thing. It was good. I'm not gonna lie, it was good. I made it with the wrong citrusy lime, lemon, whatever shit, but it was so good. I have to remake it with lemon.
I think it's doing the trick.
Oh yeah.
Eric's struggling more so with the English language than normal.
Yeah. Thanks to my Hispanic heritage. Anyways, that might be helping me out, hopefully in the very near future. But anyways, I find out this week. But anyways, and then while I finished the Butler Paltrow, I just because it's like literally within arm's reach, I grabbed some Whistle Pig, the Alfa Romeo one. Drinking it the second
it's
time.
An arm's reach.
Right. Since it's an arm's reach.
Is the crack pipe still right there too? I mean, you can reach that, right?
No. What the fuck is wrong
with you?
Since
it's an arm's reach. Might as well do some crack.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Do you have your little altar boy there too in arm's reach?
No. What the fuck? I'm Catholic, but I'm not that kind of Catholic, all right? What the fuck?
Right.
I just know how to take things way off.
Oh my god.
Ready to 11 and rip the knob off.
Yeah, good for real. Anyways, drinking the Whistle Pig the second time, I feel it. The first time, dude, it literally fucking opened up my sinuses, and I was like, "Holy shit!" It was like pretty much putting like a wad of fucking wasabi right in my mouth, and it just like opened up my sinuses. The second time, it's a lot more subtle, but it's actually really good. Like all the flavors are actually starting to come out. Like I can taste like the green tea and the lychee is there.
Oolong tea, first of all.
Okay, oolong tea. I'm sorry.
First of all.
But yeah, it's really good. So Nick, thank you again for hooking it up with that bottle. It's phenomenal, man. It's
no
really
worries,
good.
Sir. No worries, sir. But let your friend know, real friends, like one of my sales guys, bought me an entire bottle of Eagle Rare 10. You're not just a little.
Oh shit!
Just saying. Just
well,
saying.
Listen. He's
also from Kentucky and was visiting home and got it for dirt cheap. So
yeah,
there's that.
But
this dude also may have extended an invite over to possibly. Apparently, you actually might get along with him, Nick, because this dude is huge into bourbons. So he may have extended an offer to possibly try some of his stuff.
I don't know if you know this about me, but oddly enough, I get along with a lot of people.
Well, I know you
Especially
do.
when there's alcohol involved.
I know you do. Seeing how you were on fucking Sunday, I was like, yeah, Nick is gonna be back in like 5 minutes.
Every
4 hours
single
later,
person at that Carbs and Coffee event knew Nick's entire family and background, and
between the car and the dog and my social habits, it just
and I have to add a quick note on here because shit, we're coming up to a freaking hour now. That car show only had like 10 cars. Nick spent hours fucking talking to people.
Yeah.
Listen, unlike you, I was talking to people while you were just chasing around the server's booty. Okay, I don't want to hear it from you.
I was eating, bro. I was enjoying some good freaking country fried steak. That country fried steak.
You weren't allowed inside because you had a dog with you.
I know. I tried to do the nice thing and made let my wife eat while I sat outside the dog. But
you know what you also can do is that you could leave your dog at home. I'm just saying.
There's that.
He likes to eat my house, and I feel bad putting him in the cage every day of the week. So,
is it every day of the week?
Every time we leave the house? Oh yeah, he's crated.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Aren't you fluffy asshole?
Anyways, Mike, go ahead. How was your fruit bowl?
Corona was good. The beer, not the virus. Dessert station was delicious. It's like literally it's redundant at this point. Like everything we try from Corporate Ladder is fucking delicious. I mean, it literally tasted. You got the raspberry, strawberry. You got like toasted coconut and granola. Like the granola is weird because it literally tastes like you're like eating like a granola bar with fresh fruit mixed into it. Like it was delicious. I don't even know what to say anymore about all the Corporate Ladder beers. They're just super tasty. They taste exactly like what they say they do. So
yeah,
great job.
I think they make phenomenal beers. I just can't drink more than one in a sitting because they're so thick and heavy.
Well, especially ones like this. Like this is like a one and done. Like absolutely.
Yeah, that's why I like going there and getting their flights. That makes sense.
Yeah, the flights are cool, and like they honestly have a lot of other. Their Pilsner, for instance, is delicious. Their IPAs are really, really good. Like they've got a lot of. We just drink a lot of the more exotic stuff on here normally.
Yeah, I agree.
Their regular beer flavored beers also equally as good. It's just
their
not as fun to talk about.
Their imperial stouts are
Their
phenomenal.
stouts are good. Their IPAs are good. Their pilsners are lagers. Like everything I've had from them has been on point. So delicious. Nick, how was your 12 fingers of
it's hanging in there.
Bourbon.
What Federal Reserve?
It's hanging in there. Yeah, it started about there. It's not about there.
Nice.
I mean, it's going pretty well based on my crack pipe and altar boy jokes. I'm guessing it's doing its job.
Obviously.
But just in general, it's always Woodford's just such a great standard. A good baseline bourbon.
Oh yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. Oh, it's a fad. Oh, it's the Kentucky Derby official one. So it's just that's where all the notoriety comes from. It's just good. It's not the best. It's definitely not the worst. It's just good and it's consistent.
It's good flavor. It's good flavor in bourbon.
Yeah, so. Guess what? When I make my old fashions, it's almost always that's the base. Like it's I don't feel bad like I'm spending too much money on my base bourbon for it because it's for what it is. It's affordable. Like it.
You say that, but when you were at Sebring, your base was always what was that one that you had at Sebring?
It was Gentleman Jack because I was trying to get it out of my liquor cabinet, so I was trying to get rid of it and not come home with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't really keep any Jack products in my house. So yeah, that was more so of a trying to cut down a little bit. We didn't even finish the handle of the normal Jack. I was trying to get rid of some of that too. But
you fucking polished that Gentleman Jack though.
That was a rough night.
Yeah.
That was the night. Oopsies. And
you oopsies, really?
All over the back bumper and the hitch receiver of my Explorer.
Enter picture of
Nick.
Yeah, enter picture.
Thank you for that, Mike.
Yeah, entering pic of Nick throwing up right here.
I am here to, what's the word? Immortalize? Is that the word? Oh, immortalize your.
Yeah. I mean, you guys seem to always know which years and which day of which years I got sick. So it's like you have some weird tracking of this whole thing.
It was just
last year I
really
was
funny
good. I was
because
good last year.
Eric, Frank, and me were just sitting there shooting the shit. It was like 1 o'clock by that point, and then your hatch just slowly opens, and then out comes you, and just we're like, oh, it's happening. This is it.
It's funny too because like I'm pretty certain I was like, Nick, don't you fucking do it, and you're like,
somebody did.
And you're like, no, and I'm like, don't fucking do it, and you're like, no, I'm good, and I was like, don't you fucking do it, and it was like, bleh. I was like, God damn it,
yeah. I knew it was coming.
Yeah,
that's why I knew it was coming.
Yeah,
good times.
That was hilarious, Mike.
But it was short, it was quick. Mike,
I'm gonna need
as drunk as I was, thank you for the bottle of water. It hydrated me and it rinsed off my bumper.
Hey,
so I appreciate that. Yeah,
you're welcome. It's the least I can do.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
no problem, man. That's what friends are for.
But did I die?
You did not.
Yeah.
Nope.
Both times.
Yeah.
Both times. You guys shit face and slosh and Sebring. You did not. Mike, I'm gonna need you to resend me that picture.
Both. It's been at least 4 times, I think now.
Doing it right
once
now.
in front of your car, once behind somebody's tent, once behind my Explorer, and there's probably at least a 4th time somewhere in the last 8 years.
Yeah. Nice.
Good times.
Sadly, I can remember the locations of a lot of them too.
Yeah.
I remember one of them because you were leaning on my Speed 3 during one of them. Actually, I can remember 2 now. Actually, 3.
Yeah.
3.
Well, 3 was this last year, yeah. But
2 years ago.
I only puked on 1 car, and it was my own. So
yeah, but next year we're gonna have an RV that's not ours, so you need to tighten that shit up. Tighten it up, Nick.
There's a toilet. There's a toilet though in that.
Yes. Yeah, we have some really interesting stuff coming up for our next year's Sebring. Yes, that's
sure
right.
Do.
We are fucking planning next year's Sebring already. It's like 300
Thanks,
350 something fucking days away, but we are already fucking planning that shit. Why? Because it's me and Mike's 10th year, which is ironic that we're kind of changing shit up. But we've got to do this shit big next year.
This picture.
You guys will see it obviously earlier, but I'll clip it here again.
Tent lights look really good in the picture though.
That's fucking hilarious. The what?
The lights around the canopies.
Yeah, they do.
They look good.
Dude, I'm so glad that I fucking bought those. They came in clutch as fuck. Anyways, and on that note, or that bombshell, whatever you want to freaking call it. Yeah, that's all the time that we have here for today. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. We appreciate every single one of you guys that actually keep up with us and our podcast and all of the shenanigans. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, all that good shit. Cheers to booze and cars, and we'll catch you guys on the next upload.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.